Unasikia? So Sheila, as I was telling you kwamba the problem is one. When darkness, and this is what darkness is. Sheila, darkness does not exist. It is a state of forgetfulness. It does not exist because in the beginning, just this is what happened. Let there be light. Only, Sheila. There was not let there be light and now let there be darkness. It was only let there be light. And there was light. So any fractals which had forgotten themselves. This is, Sheila, people do not know that the declaration was only one. Let there be light. Period. So there was light. So whatever was not of light, any fractals which were not light, they were just state of forgetfulness or absence of that which it is. Period. That's why demons, you do not need to rebuke them. You do not need to start sending them into 7 directions. You just need to greet them, welcome them in light, love, and light. When you remind them of love, number one, they will know that, yes, these guys know that we are from one source, which is love. And then when you tell them, and then when you say love, and then you say the light, you remind them that, hey, you are in state of forgetfulness. This is what you are. And because they will always preserve their polarities at all costs, this is what they do. They vacate. Sheila, demons possess us because they always know and they claim the divine in us. Sheila, demons claim the divine in us. When we push them into that hole, now you are attached to them. You can never escape them because they are connected with you. You are the one separating with that. But they are always connected to you. And these negative entities, they will always make sure that each and every present moment, 1001%, they claim divine in everything. They claim divine in everything. That's why they are powerful. You, while you are resisting them and fighting them and separating with them, they are claiming the divine in you. Now you cannot get detached from them because they have claimed the holiness of the divine. No separation. Umeelewa? No separation. Sheila, there is no separation. This is what negative entities and dark entities knows. They know there's no separations. For us, it is very hard. We see that this is darkness. It has to be, is fighting against light. Sheila, you can't fight. No one, God cannot fight against himself. So we are just primitive. We are just primitive. Very primitive. Sheila, this is what happens. This is what happens. Demons, when you walk with the knowing, Sheila, demons will, now there are in every one person, there are 10 demons. That is the population of demons in this planet. Sheila, in every one person, there are 10 demons. So if we are 8 billion, there are 800. If we are 8 billion, there are 80 billion demons. I will tell you an experience, Sheila. When you claim anything, you are that, because there's no separation. Like there's this simple experiment, which I did. I think I used to do this in my initial times. When I was starting this work, I was doing these things. I didn't want any kind of reading which is not a fact. Sheila, if your belief does not coincide with facts, it's a lie. Trust me, no matter how holy your book is. And so there was something, me first I used, I wanted this experience that like when you are claiming, like you take a candle, this is what I was doing, take a candle, put it on the table there and try. I was talking to you about this candle thing. Sheila, this candle, you take this candle and put it on a table, light it, make sure imewaka kabisa, and then this is what you do. This is what you do. Forget, like, leave out everything what you have been told, what you have been taught, anything what you know about fire, let it go. Anything which you have been taught, anything, forget about that. Forget about that and be in the present moment, Sheila. And just know you are one with that flame. Forget what you have been taught by your parents, that it burns, that. Just know that you are one with that, Sheila. Be in the present and just know that you are that. Period. It only takes that, Sheila. Now you take your hand, you pass it through the flame, Sheila. It is you will feel you won't feel the heat, you will feel the sensation of like wind, like something which is blowing, like some kind of air blowing you, not heat. I have done it, Sheila. You will only feel that, you won't feel the heat of that flame of candle. And you will play with it, kapsa. But immediately you remember that this is fire. Sheila, unasikia umechomeka saa hiyo. Immediately unachomeka. That is how crazy it is. So, Sheila, maze, there is a lot of things. Sheila, humanity is very powerful. We have never known what we are. We have never known what we are. We are very powerful. Sheila, there's another guy. He was like he was having a serious stomachache. It was very painful, and I was telling him that I just told him to sit straight and just breathe. And he was in pain, and I just told him, listen, you do not have to resist that pain. Let me tell you, the more you are resisting it, the more you are going to feel it. I just told him to relax and be in the present moment and embrace that pain. And I told him, and this is what I told him, I told him to speak it from within. To speak it from within, that I am one. Talk to that pain, that I am one with you. There's no separation. From within, because Sheila, this is the secret which people do not know. That moment, you can speak something without you hearing it. Sheila, that moment you are speaking something without yourself hearing it, or without yourself producing any sound, then it is not the physical you speaking. It is the greater I.
Pastor, if there's anything that I learned many years ago, I remember God telling me that in the spiritual realm, It is what is in you that speaks louder than what it is that you speak verbally.
Sheila, you know, the thing is that there's one thing people do not understand, that the physical body talks. The physical you talks, but the higher you speaks. The physical you listens, but the higher you hears. Sheila, these are two different things. Listening, talking are things of physicality. Hearing, hearing is not something of physicality, Sheila. Speaking is not something of physicality. You are speaking energy. No. So people fail to understand this. Now, and this one is what is putting people into slumber. They do not know who they are. Because this guy, when I told him to do some breathing and just from within, be in the present moment and claim the divine in that pain. Claim it, that it is one with you. Claim it. And I was telling him, claiming it in Gambia, just relax. You don't have to close your eyes. Be in the present moment. Here with me, present moment. And when I was telling him that number, and I was speaking to him like 2 minutes, and I tell him, even in this present moment right now, I am asking you, do you feel the pain? And the answer was nothing. Then they said, they started saying, you are a magician. I told him, I am not a magician. These things, Sheila, people were supposed to be taught while in nursery school. This is what we were supposed to be taught when we are in primary school.
I think the schooling system has been used by the enemy.
Sheila, let me tell you one thing. Education,
to corrupt us.
Sheila, let me tell you one thing. Someone who has not been educated, they can connect to God faster than the one who has been educated. Because the one who is educated is programmed with full of shit.
That's true.
Thousands of filters.
I agree.
Lakini someone who is, Sheila, that's why, let me tell you one thing. The reason why I have worked with people in spirituality, but the people who are learned, I've worked with people for more than 1 year. Sheila, all people who are learned have never experienced the shit which people, Sheila, there are people, even they don't have smartphones. They are not even in our group. They are using the old types of digital, and they left school class 3. Sheila, these guys, I will teach them things and they will pick it and experience it at the next minute. Something people who are learned up to now, they cannot even meditate. Even meditation is they're struggling. Sheila, I've worked with people 1 year down the line, they cannot meditate. Sheila, there are people, one day, they left school, class 3, and I tell them, being present is disconnecting your mind and be here. And they become that moment, Sheila, in meditative state. That moment. You asking them, how do you feel? And they tell you they feel like they are floating and their eyes are opened. They are not closing their eyes, Sheila. They are entering into meditative state while their eyes are open. You just giving them instructions. Sheila, people who have not been polluted by programs. And there are people with degrees, Sheila. There are people with degrees. They have practiced meditation from last year up to now. They can't take even it. They haven't taken it to the next minute. They can only do 1 minute. Let me tell you one thing, Sheila. Sheila, 21st of, was it 2020? 21st of December 2020. The planet was shifting. Sheila. 2020 December 21st. At exactly 11 a.m. in the morning, the planet was shifting and the sun was changing from a hydrogen sun to a helium sun. Sheila, trust me. Myself, and this thing I shared with a guy. This guy, as I'm telling you, this guy is someone who is like a houseboy or a caretaker of a place. He's not learned, and I was telling him that it was on 19th, and I was telling him that on 21st the planet is shifting to 4th density and the sun will change. At 11 a.m. exactly, the sun will change. Intensity and even the color will change. Sheila, I'm telling you this. Myself, I didn't experience it, but that guy, ilipofika exact that time, the guy was shouting and he was looking for me. He told me, Salim, it is real, the sun changed. And everybody else, Sheila, everybody else, if you ask them what is happening to the sun, they said it's nothing, it's normal, life is normal. The guy was like, people, you are sick. He told people, he just said clearly, you guys, you are sick. The sun changed. Even the color, even the intensity changed. Like, the intensity changed. From yellowish to brighter white. It changed. The guy said it changed and he was 100% sure. Sheila, if you know something, even if 1,000 people come, you take your stand. That guy stood by his stand and he said it changed. Sheila, he told me it changed. Akanambia, Salimu, nisikize, I'm not stupid. It changed. Myself, I didn't even see because I was not in awareness. Sheila, that's why we are told to walk in the present moment, in awareness. A lot of things are passing us. Let me tell you one thing, Sheila. This crazy dancing to the mind, which is not settled here and there, we are missing a lot of things. Sheila, a lot of things, even in our own bedrooms, in our own sitting rooms. There are items which change position. Sheila, there are items which change positions. If you don't believe me, put a CCTV in your bedroom. Close the door and watch that CCTV from morning to evening. Full, without skipping any steps. See if things don't move. Sheila, things move. Things move. You can put a book facing this side, but it will just flip the other side because you are not walking in awareness. We are not walking in awareness. Sheila, a lot of things are happening around us, but we cannot perceive them because we are not in the present moment. Funga. Uko. This is what happens, Sheila. A lot of things are happening. A lot of things are happening, Sheila, in our own houses. But people do not see it. Sheila, do you know what I can tell you? Don't be cheated by anyone, eh? Sheila, this, our reality has got many dimensions. Sheila, there is no empty space. In your bedroom, don't think there's an empty space. There are dimensions there. Sheila, do not be cheated or lied unto by anyone that My house is holy. My house is holy. I have anointed the house. There are no demons. It is a crude spiritual mentality, Sheila. They are full. Demons are everywhere, Sheila. Demons are everywhere, Sheila. Demons are everywhere. Even in the churches, in the mosques. Demons are everywhere in other dimensions. You cannot interfere with them until you are able to tap those dimensions, and you will be able to see them. But they are playing with you every time, even the angelic realms. Sheila, this is what happens. This is what happens. These demons or your own angels will always sometimes try to play with you to see if you are waking up or you are just continuing to be in slumber. You will put your car keys to a certain place. Inapotea, and then when you go there, you don't find it. Then you search, then you come to find it there. Sheila, people are not walking in awareness. It's not that you didn't see it. It was not there for real. It was not there. Sheila, this thing happened to me not very far away, and I shared it to someone in the group because that person in our group was in Mombasa. And when he was in Mombasa, I was supposed to meet the person. Sheila, I searched for the key. Are you there? Sheila. So, where had I reached? Yes, so this it happened. It happened to me, and we searched for the key of my car. I searched for the key, and it was lost. It was everywhere I went to. Everywhere they searched for the key, it was not seen. Are you there? So, when we were looking for this key, we could not find this key. And we had given up. And immediately I was thinking of calling someone to go and to start making arrangements for that sensor of the car, for reprogramming of the car. Sheila, immediately I was making that one, I just got like some flash indicating to me like the key is at the same place where you were seeking it with so and so. And I called that person. I told the person the key is. I told the person, do you remember the place we were looking for the key? The same place where we were looking for the key, and we didn't find it. It is there. And I was in town. I told her it is there. And I will ask Sheila. This is how crazy it is. When I was telling her, when I was talking to her and telling her, the place where we were looking for the key, she was standing there. And as I was telling her the place where we were looking for the key is there, she was looking at the key, Sheila. She was looking at the key and she was saying like, hey, is this magic or what? Then I was saying, what? Why? Then she says, you are speaking to me and I'm looking at the key. It is there. I can see it. It is there where we didn't see it last. So this reality, Sheila, we have just to participate without giving judgment.
I know now these days, you know what I do when I have those moments, I like intentionally just tune in and I'm like, you know what, God, tell me where this thing is. Because vingine unaweza kuweka kifungu, unaweka kifungu kwa meza, utakuja kupata kifungu. There's a time nilipata kifungu imefichwa kule kwa ventilation holes. Sasa wewe unakaa unaanza kujiambia, you know, so some of them, the way you're saying, those entities can play around with us to test us and to try us and to just nafikiri wanakuanga board saa zingine wengine.
Let me tell you one thing, Sheila. This is the craziest part of this reality. Sheila, this reality, yani, there is much more to the reality than people know. Sheila, there is much more. Many of the people you see in the busy streets, many of the people are just participants who are not Sheila. When you see the full street of people, Gioni, when you are Sheila, not all of them are humans. Not all of them are living entities, Sheila. Most of them are projection to participate in this reality. Sheila, most of them are not human. They are projections, Sheila. Most of them are projections. Especially a very busy street. Sheila, most of them are projections. They are like holograms. They are not people. This reality, Sheila, I don't know who is the one who is controlling this reality or manipulating it, or if it is a matrix. I do not know the technology behind it. So it's something metaphysical, and something metaphysical is what spirituality is. Spirituality is not, when people are told about Spirit of God, they think Spirit of God is something of a being, is energy. Holy Spirit is energy. It's not an entity with a tail with two legs. It is frequency. I said it is frequency. Our ancestors, the people who came before us, they were describing this in accordance to their perception.
That's true.
Now we have evolved. We have to redefine everything, Sheila. Where you place, Sheila, where you place God is where God stays. What you dumps you back.
We were having this conversation yesterday. I said we will experience the God we perceive. Simple.
If you are perceiving the God of the God of Old Testament, you will experience the same God. Sheila, yesterday I said clearly, whoever is walking in the fear of God is having a frightening God. Period. Sheila, period. Anyone walking in the fear of God has a frightening God. Sheila, period. Nothing else. If you walk with the in the love of God, you have a loving God. Period. Nothing else. Sheila, what you dumps you back. God allows himself to be dumped so that he can dump you to that level you have dumped him.
The God that you perceive. Sasa huyu ananipeleka level lingine. Anaambia, if you're experiencing the God of love, if you believe the God of love, you will experience the God of love. If you experience the God of the Old Testament, you will experience that God of damning.
The furious, Sheila, if you are stuck with you are stuck to the God.
The judging God.
You are stuck to the furious God of Old Testament of wrath and anger. Sheila, you'll experience wrath in all your lives.
You will experience wrath in all your life. If you, I think God allowed himself to be damned. Whenever you damn God, God allows you to damn himself that he can damn you back.
Sheila, unajua Sheila, these things these are simple things. They do not need they do not Sheila, spiritual things.
I don't know why we complicated God so much. I don't know why we made God to be such an algebra. I don't know why. And I think also religion has done that. And then of course the conditioning with schooling, and then the conditioning of the environment that we are in, all this, that, the other. Today in the morning I was just talking to my friend and I was telling her that look, if you look at all the churches that are there, zile churches zilianzwa na wazungu, unaona breakthrough yao. Zile ziko na Waafrika, ziko na mashida tu mingi na mingi na mingi. The only ones that are excelling is if they have a foundation of Mzungu. So, it doesn't take rocket science for you to understand that this thing is just an issue of wisdom or a lack of it, or ignorance. You know what I mean? So, you will see that some of the principles that we know, some things that are so simple.
Talking to the day, yes, unajua huyu jamaa wangu naye he's just hanging around here like a bodyguard. No, he was just seated here. He was just seated here listening. The thing is that Sheila, these kids, our kids, let me tell you one thing. The souls which started coming back in the 2000s, the souls which start coming back, they are souls which have already graduated. There's no Sheila, from the year 2000s, the souls which are coming in, there's no garbage. It is auto-cleansing now. It's the old shit is being cleared. Whatever is coming in is new vibration, 4th density, 5th density. That is our ascension. That is what ascension is.
Na Mungu unajua yuko strategic. Mungu hata alikuwa akiendelea kuacha tu low vibrational beings ndio wakue huku. Lazima apesi kitu up.
Sheila, the planet moves to the next density, and there is that process of auto-cleansing. The souls which reincarnate back here, from that time when there was when we passed the timeline, those souls which were allowed to reincarnate here were the souls which will be in resonance to 4th and 5th density. So, as much as our kids could, some of them we could just see some of them as we can say they are not that awakened, Sheila. They will be triggered and people will be in shit. Sheila, these kids know everything. We think we know, but let me tell you, when you take your kids and force them to go to Sunday school, they're just going out of respect, but they know you are dumb. Sheila, they know. All the kids which we are forcing them on religious things and this, Sheila, all the kids, in fact 15 years going down, Sheila, all the kids, they know we are dumb. They know we are dumb. So Sheila, I was telling you something, This is what I was telling you. Sheila, spiritual things of God, they do not need even any knowledge, anything, Sheila. You just have to know thyself. Sheila, there is a reason, Sheila, there is always a reason why you always see me. I can ask anything about God and I don't care how people will feel. Like the other time we were arguing that I was asking people, why are you saying that God cannot have sex? While you guys, this is the first thing you are enjoying in this world. Like you have the right to have sex, but God does not have the right to have sex. And I didn't say he have sex.
Spiritual entity.
Listen, Sheila.
You see, the thing
Sheila,
is
listen.
the kind of what?
Listen, Sheila. Omnipresence of God. God is everywhere. Even that sex.
It's not a problem. I'm just saying, we are not arguing. All I was saying is, wajua vitu zingine unapatia watu time kwanza wafanye nini, wagrow.
Sasa ndo, yes, yeah, I know, but I'm saying, I'm saying when you understand what God is. Like the other time I was telling someone that if me, I don't care if God will just appear like this. Because I was making some funny jokes with some guys there. Hey, me, I don't care. Even if God's come here, I'll crack the same jokes to him. It's because God is not this or that, is not even judgmental to that, because he knows everything is himself. Sheila, everything is God. That bottle of beer which you are demonizing, it is God by itself. Even that demon is God by itself. Because in the beginning there was God alone. And everything came forth from God. Everything is God. Sheila, this is the greatest breakthrough for humanity if they want to move forward. Everything is God.
That's
then
true.
you get to experience God through everything. Sheila, when you work with the perception of everything is God, you get to experience God through everything. Through every strand of your hair. Huh?
And the way you handle things is different.
Of course, you will have respect of everything. You will have respect of everything in existence because everything is God. You will experience God from each and every single strand of your hair. You will experience God in each, as an individual, in each pore of your skin. When you walk with this perception that everything is God, Sheila, you will experience God when you breathe out in. And that even that between that gap, before you breathe out, you will experience God, because to you, everything is God. Sheila, you will be breathing in, you are experiencing God. You are breathing out, you are experiencing God. Because to you, everything is God. You are walking in the afternoon sun, what you are experiencing is God, because to you, everything is God. Sheila, you will be in a bar drinking a beer, you will experience God. Sheila, don't be cheated. When to you, everything is God, you will experience God.
Yesterday I was even telling my friends, I told them about a friend of mine who went home, hajawahi kukunywa pombe. Amekunywa pombe, hajawahi kuomba, hajui kuomba. Akaenda nyumbani, watoto wake alikuwa na twins. Mtoto wake mmoja akapatwa na zile fits mpaka akakuwa blind. Akirudi ametoka kanivyo, amelewa. Unanielewa? So yeye aliporudi nyumbani akaona mtoto wake haoni. One of the twins was not seeing. Aliomba na alikuwa na nini? Alikuwa amelewa kokoro. Anasema aliomba sinya, akaomba nini ikashift. At some point akakuwa soba, akajipata ameongea na foreign tongues, na zaidi ya hiyo akafanya nini? Mtoto akaona.
You know, Sheila, this is the thing, You know, we are demonizing everything. Because immediately you demonize something, you have separated from it. And separation is what keeps us away from God. Immediately you separate God. His purpose of being God does not exist, because God is holiness, totality, fullness, completeness. Nothing exists outside of God. Sheila, when you are talking with people, Sheila, tell them this. All these things they are seeing, all experiences are within God. Nothing exists outside of God. Nothing. The reason why the Bible says everything works out for the highest good for those who believe in God. Because everything is God, Sheila. Sheila, everything works out for the highest good.
That's true.
Everything.
Na mbona unajua unaongea kila kitu nimeongea jana Senior. Kila kitu nimeongea hapa jana unaniambia wewe leo. So mine is to tune.
Unajua, let me tell you one thing, eh? When Jesus went to Jesus was invited to a wedding, and he went there. In that wedding, guess what, Maze? He found guys who were just seated there and they were bored. What did Jesus do? He told them, letele mitungi ya maji yote. You guys, you are bored. And he turned water into one and people drank. And they were happy. Sheila, this is what the Bible said. People drank and they were happy. Drunk people are happy people. That's why they will sing. You will never find haters drinking together. You will never find haters dancing together in a bar, in a club. But you will find haters praising and worshiping God, sitting in the same church.
That is what I was telling them yesterday. Unaongea kila kitu yenye nilikuwa naongea jana.
Nakwambia, you will find haters sitting in the same church, dancing, praising and worshiping to God, haters. But you will never find haters in a bar dancing together. Sheila, you'll never find haters drinking together. Sheila, you will never find haters in a brothel. Sheila, hey, people should wake up. You will never, the craziest, Sheila, in the craziest place is where people find love. Those places who have demonized, people will always find love there. Trust me. There are no demons, there's nothing. It's because we are stuck into physicality. Someone is coming to tell you about this is a sin, this is a sin, this is a sin. When you ask them for a reference, they will give you a reference of a physical book. Sheila, the Bible, the Quran, whatever is in this planet, as far as you can perceive with your physical senses. As far as you can anything you can perceive with your five physical senses is something of flesh, material, matter, physicality. Anything, no matter how holy it is. If Jesus was walking in flesh, that is a physical Jesus. But that which is in him was the Christ. Sheila, all the holy books they have been used to lock people into physicality. That's why Jesus said, the works that I do, you guys, you can do. Sheila, 2,000 years down the line, we have advanced technological and bullshit. No one has walked on water in any church. No one. It's because you were locked into that physicality. My God is just defined by a book, a physical book, something I can see and touch. Physicality. He cannot be above this. Sheila, just look at this perception. This is how people are damning God. And I said God will always allow himself to be damned. So that where to that level you have damned him, he damns you too. To that same level. We are very proud and very supporting of our notion that this is what my Bible tells me. It cannot be anything outside of this. You have locked God in pages of a book. Sheila, an infinite God, an ever-expanding God. Sheila, an ever-knowing, meaning that he knows something new every day. He's expanding and knowing something new every day. You lock that God in pages of a book. And you say, this is the final of God. No more description of God, apart from my Bible.
So limited.
We are limiting God. And then, guess what? Sheila. And this is why, this is the greatest reason why people are in salvation, Sheila, 20 years down the line. Someone went into salvation because they had marital problems, misunderstandings with their husband. When they came into salvation with that problem, they carried it over all those years, and the situation upgraded. Now she was being slapped once in a month. Now she's being kicked and hit with the chairs and everything by the husband. It has upgraded, Sheila. This is not salvation. This is what salvation is. Book of Romans, this is what it says, the original version. Salvation shall only come to the Jews and not the Gentiles. And he is not a Jew who that is outward. Sheila, if you are stuck outward, salvation shall never come to you. That is very clearly written. If you are outward, no matter outward, whether you are focused in a Bible or in a walking Messiah outward, Sheila, you are in physicality. Salvation is not part of your reality. Hey, Sheila, people should wake up. The other day I said, it is high time we redefine what God is. But yet again, nikaja nikafikiria kwamba God cannot attract any final definition or description. Because if he is ever expanding, ever knowing, how can God, Sheila, how can an infinite God have a final description in a book while nothing else in the existence has a final description? Sheila, nothing else has a final description in reality. Nothing. I always tell people, today is a refrigerator, tomorrow is a chicken's house, the other day is a scrap metal, the other day it is in soil, it has turned into minerals. This time it is a cloth. The other time it is a duster, you are wiping the floors and tiles of your house. The other time it is rubbish. The other time it becomes elements of the soil. It goes to the plants. The other time it becomes mangoes and apples. Sheila, everything is in constant process of creation and evolution. This is what universe is. Now we are taking the owner of the universe and giving him a final definition. That's why I told you we are in a primitive stage. We are primitive. Sheila, achana na story mingi, we are just primitive. I've always been telling people we have been living a lie. We have never even sought what that which is called God. We're just monkeys, Sheila. We're just monkeys. There's nothing we know. Sheila, we do not know anything about God. Let me tell you. This is just pull and push, guessing. Try this, try that, try this. Sheila, we do not know. If someone comes to you and try to explain to you what God is, Sheila, just vacate that space and run away like you have seen a plug. So, what I was telling you, Sheila, I'm just telling you that humanity is primitive, and it's not our fault. There is like 100 years of stagnation in evolution, done on purpose. This is 100 years, Sheila, 100 years of stagnation in evolution. That's why everything is accelerating, Sheila. If people just knew, people are just, I don't know why, people are never taking time to be with their self and to Sheila. One thing people fail to understand, when you take time alone in contemplation, Sheila, you always get revelations. People are not doing this. They are waiting for people to plaster them with bullshit on their
Come and
face.
tell them, to come and tell
This
them.
is too sad. They are waiting for people. Oh, this is what it was revealed to me. Oh, this is, others will come add their own sugar and spices. Oh, Sheila, people do not know what is going on because of our own stupidity of waiting for so and so, waiting to hear so and so, waiting to read from so and so. Sheila, the reason why 80% of the population we are remaining behind in this density. 80 to 70% of population remaining behind here is because of foolishness. Sheila, foolishness. And for me,